Hey everyone, it's been a while. Do you remember me? I don't remember what I talked about in my last video, which was from 4 or 5 months ago. I always feel like I wanna read and do booktube videos, and I kind of am reading. Still not as much as I would like to, obviously. I'm still kind of in a slump, I guess, but it's getting a little bit better. I'm getting a little bit more reading done than beginning of this year, I guess. But I've also been painting more. I'm still trying to find a balance between art and reading because those are my two passions, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading the wrong books at the moment. There were some books that I flew through where I thought I'm finally getting out of this slump, but then I wasn't. Anyway, the point of this video was to kind of tell you what I've been reading in the last few months. I'm not gonna go in depth on every book because I don't remember a lot about most of these books, but I just kind of want to go through some of them, at least mention the books I've been reading, give some thoughts on some of these books. Let's start with this one. Sometime, I think I read this in June. I'm just gonna start it with June. I read Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios. I actually received an e-arc for this the year it came out, which was 2017, so a year ago, I think. Yeah, but I read it a year late. Sorry for that. In this book, you follow along an abusive relationship, like as it starts and how it slowly turns emotionally abusive. I don't think it was physically abusive. I don't recall it being physically abusive, but emotionally abusive. And you just kind of follow along as it just goes downhill. And while it was very interesting to read, not that these kind of relationships aren't interesting, but I don't know, it also kind of messed with my head. And it made me question every relationship, not even romantic relationships, but just my relationships to different people, friendships and whatnot. It made me question everything, and I felt so weird after reading it. Anyway, I did enjoy this book, even though it kind of made me feel weird, and I gave it 4 stars. I also read Troublemaker by Leah Remini, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. For those of you who don't know, I don't think I ever touched on this in a video, but I am weirdly obsessed with Scientology, and not because I believe in it or anything. It's so fascinating how it's still going on, and what's fascinating might be the wrong word because it's so messed up. But I've watched Leah Remini's like documentary series. I watched it last year and I became kind of obsessed with it. I couldn't think or talk about anything else except Scientology. It's so weird. And then a few months ago, I saw a different documentary, like a documentary movie on Netflix, and I watched that, and then I just got right back into Scientology and everything. And I found this book when I was in the States. It was on sale. So I thought, why not? I'm obsessed with this, I'll read this. And this is one of the books that I flew through. I think it only took me 2 days, which is a miracle nowadays for me to finish a book in 2 days. And I really, really enjoyed this. This is all about how Leah first got into Scientology and what she experienced in Scientology, along with also being an actress in Hollywood, what moved her to leave the Church of Scientology. Yeah, so this was really interesting to me, but I'm weirdly obsessed with Scientology. I don't know what it is, and I'm so excited for season 3 of Scientology and the Aftermath. Hopefully it's coming out soon. And I gave this, I think, 4 stars as well. Yeah, 4 stars. Then I read, I'm pretty sure this is my first poetry collection I ever read, and it's called Soft in the Middle by Shelby Eileen. I saw some people mention this on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure it was on sale on Amazon, or it's just a cheap ebook. I don't remember. I bought it, I read it, and I really, really enjoyed it, and it made me want to read more poetry, which I haven't done yet, but hopefully I will at some point. Yeah, I don't remember any specifics about this, but I do remember liking a lot of the poems and highlighting a lot of them, and I gave this also 4 stars. Then I read this beauty, Summer Bird Blue by Ekimi Dawn Bouwman. Most of you might know Ekimi Dawn Bouwman is one of my favorite authors. She wrote my all-time favorite book, Starfish, and this is her newest book, which came out September 11th, I want to say. I don't know. It came out in September, not too long ago. I did read this or finish it in July because I won one of her giveaways on Twitter and I received this ARC, and it's signed right here. I had it personalized when I met her at YLCA in London. And this is about Rumi, who lost her sister Leah in a car accident, and she's kind of dealing with her grief. Her mom has a really hard time dealing with her grief, and she actually sends Rumi to her aunt in Hawaii. It's a very sad book. It made me cry mascara tears. I gave this 5 stars. I loved it. Not as much as Starfish, but Starfish just holds a very, very, very special place in my heart. But I still really, really like this. I definitely recommend it. Just read anything by Ekimi Dawn Bouwman. She has the most beautiful writing, just the most wonderful characters, and so... Oh, another thing. Rumi is also figuring out her sexuality and questioning if she is asexual, and she's biracial, and just kind of, things are just kind of coming to me as I'm speaking. Biracial, aspec, questioning, I don't know how to say that. Let me check. She is half Japanese and half Hawaiian. Yeah, 5 stars. I listened to the audiobook of Dear Martin by Nick Stone. I do think this was a very, very important read, but I didn't enjoy it as much, so I gave it 3 stars. I also listened to the audiobook of I Hate My Selfie by Shane Dawson. I have been loving Shane Dawson's videos, so I kind of wanted to check out his books, and I had a bunch of Audible credits left over. I did like it. It was okay. I gave it 3 stars. And then another audiobook. I listened to a lot of audiobooks. I also listened to another Scientology book. This one was Beyond Belief by Jenna Miscavige Hill. And Jenna Miscavige is the niece of David Miscavige, who is the head of Scientology something. Being obsessed with Scientology, I know a lot about it, but I was just curious to see if she had anything else, like a very different story to tell, being related to someone so important to the church. It was kind of similar to a lot of what other people said about the church. Well, no, she did have like a different perspective on, obviously, her uncle, David Miscavige, David Miscavige, and the way he treated her as to what other people say, how he mistreats employees and whatnot. She did have some different perspectives, which were kind of interesting. I gave this 4 stars. Yeah, that was the last book I finished. I am in the middle of 3 books at the moment. I've been reading Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. I'm also reading Last Call at the Nightshade Lounge by Paul Kruger. And then I'm also listening to the audiobook of The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. Those are the books that I'm currently reading and what I have been reading recently. I don't know if I will be making more videos in the future or if this is just another one for the next 4 or 5 months. I'm very sorry for being so absent on YouTube. I know a lot of people want videos from me again. If you do miss my lovely face or just want to talk books to me, I do stream on Twitch like 2 to 3 times a week. I do creative streams But please don't hesitate to come into the chat and talk books to me, because I love that. I love when people come and ask me about books or what I'm reading. It gets me all excited. I will try and make some more YouTube videos because I do miss being on BookTube and watching other people's BookTube videos. I've always loved that and I do miss it. Tell me down below in the comments if you have read any of these books. What were your thoughts on them? What are you currently reading? Recommend me some books, because not watching BookTube videos and not like being really in the book community at the moment, I feel like I'm missing a lot of book releases and things. So please let me know what you're excited for at the moment. And hopefully I will see you in another video or during my Twitch streams. Thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye!